What is going on, and welcome back to the channel. So if you got yesterday's live stream, you know we got our turbo. And that little like snippet of B-roll that we had at the beginning of the video also showed it. But we got our FP Black. So this thing is awesome. It's going to be an awesome turbo for this car. We're going to be shooting for around like 450-ish wheel horsepower with this thing. That turbo will easily be able to provide that power for us. That turbo is rated up to 550 wheel horsepower. The internal, I was planning on running internal wastegate, but the internal wastegate on that thing is welded shut. So I got a Grimspeed 38mm external wastegate up pipe ordered, as well as a Tile 38mm external wastegate. So we get to do all the external wastegate fun with this car yet again, because we like external wastegates. Better boost control. It looks cool. It sounds gnarly. It's going to be an awesome setup. I also got the new header in for the car, which I'm not entirely a fan of. The fitment on it is all right. I like fitted up to the motor yesterday just to make sure clearances on everything were good. So far that's the mailman. Where's my parts? And so far clearance on it looks pretty solid everywhere around, but there's a couple things I want to show you guys. I also have a lot that we're going to be doing today. We're going to have to run back up to the mod garage this afternoon to go grab our IAG air oil separator, because remember last time when we went up there, they didn't actually have it. IAG gave them the wrong tracking information, but it is up there now, so we can grab it. So here's our FP Black. This thing is awesome. It was donated to the channel by Alex down at New School Racing down in St. Augustine, Florida. So if you guys are in that area, go check out their shop. I think they open up this week. Super excited that they were able to get this sent over to us. They're also sending us an 84 millimeter FP turbo inlet. I thought the Perrin 3-inch would fit. This is actually a 3.3 inch versus being a 3-inch. So they're going to get that inlet sent over to us to go with this turbo. It's going to be killer. I'm super pumped to get this thing on the car. Like I was saying, as you guys can see, the wastegate in there is welded shut, just like our FP Blue was on the 17 STI. Getting this turbo inlet to fit, I'm definitely not looking forward to. It's going to be a challenge to get a 3.3 inch turbo inlet to fit underneath of the intake manifold. It's not so much the intake manifold I'm worried about fitment wise. It's up here with the power steering pump, just because there's not a ton of room right here to be able to get that turbo inlet to fit. But we'll once we get the up pipe, the turbo inlet, the car's back in the car, we'll get it fitted in there. I'll do a video on trying to like shove that thing in there. Definitely not going to be fun. But as you guys remember in the last video, we did get our fueling stuff on here. So we have our fuel rails, injectors, TGV deletes, and phenolic spacers on there. And then here's the header that I got yesterday. Fitment wise, it's pretty good. It's a Perrin equal length header. Some of you guys are going to be disappointed that it's not an unequal length. We are losing the Subaru rumble, but since this car is going to be a daily driver, I want efficiency and I want reliability, and equal length headers just give that reliability a little bit more, since it decreases the EGTs coming out of cylinders 2 and 4 because of runner length. Now with this, this coolant line that feeds the oil cooler up here, this is touching on the header, which is a big no-no for us, because we don't want the header to be cooking all of the coolant in here. So I need to bend this bracket up and try to get this thing away from this header a little bit. I might put some like Thermotech like heat coat on here, like some type of heat protection on this coolant line, so that way we're not just cooking our coolant. But I did get that mocked up. It fits awesome except for that one little spot. The biggest issue I had with these, I've ran these headers before. I ran like the Gen 1 when Perrin first came out with these, and this runner over here just came out too far before and it melted my radiator fans and caught the car on fire. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. I'd like to avoid that as much as possible, but I got some stuff I gotta get knocked out on that motor. Over here we have a big bag of parts from Subaru that I just went and picked up. These are a whole bunch of replacement like PCV hoses, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go through, I'm just gonna get all this stuff thrown on the motor real quick, get that one coolant line away from the exhaust manifold, and then we will continue our endeavors here and see what we can get knocked out today. So as I was going through this, there's a couple things I wanted to point out to you guys. If you have your motor apart to this extent, get replacement hoses if you need them. Like if it'll focus, there we go. On this hose right here, like it was ripped and torn on both ends of it. Like right there, there's a small rip. Same thing with the top side. There's a small rip right in the top and it's a little bit blown out. These PCV and coolant hoses are cheap, you guys. Just take the extra time to go through here and replace the ones that need to be replaced. It'll save you a lot of time later down the road. I meant to order this PCV fitting that goes from there to this top port right here, but I clearly ordered the wrong one. So that's got to come off. And I need to order order the correct one. But so far what I've done on here is I replaced the banjo bolts on the AVCS banjo, so that way we're not leaking oil on there. I also pulled that off just to be able to get a little bit easier access to it to torque it down. With this parent header situation and the coolant bypass, or the coolant for the overflow, I have a gap between there now. I don't want to go any more than that because I don't want to get this at a weird angle, and then I also don't want to get the other coolant line down there that goes to the water pump at another weird angle where it's going to start kinking the hoses. So that'll work. And then you guys may have seen me pull off the water pump housing right there, the thermostat housing. I just pulled that off to make sure I double checked that I cleaned the backside of the mating surface. I didn't, so I pulled that off. I cleaned that off, got all like the weird schmoo stuff off of there. I don't think I did anything back here. I did replace this oil drain line as well because the old one was like super kinked and destroyed, but I have a couple other things. I need to get the O2 sensor on the header because I don't want to have to do that once it's in the car because it's very annoying to do. And then a couple smaller things to go through and throw on here. And then just to show you guys, I don't think it's like super important or super like crazy. Did order a replacement bypass hose valve and the clamps because the old one was like dying and collapsing on itself. So I mean, even when it comes to some of that smaller stuff, you guys just take the time to replace it on the motor. Totally also found this in the back. IAG fuel pressure regulator gauge. So since we're not going to be running a digital fuel pressure regulator, I found this one in the back. This one was supposed to be meant for the 2017 build, but we're going to repurpose it for this because we never used it for that car. So let me run back through here, finish all the small stuff on the motor just so I can get like all of these smaller things kind of checked off the list here. So I took a couple minutes, I went through and I like super cleaned the garage, but we have these two plugs blocked off. So since we're deleting evap, we don't need those anymore. I have a dedicated video on how to delete evap if you guys are curious on that one. I'll link it down below. Do keep in mind you'll need a tune for it. I got our 4-bar map sensor in because we're going to be needing a bigger map sensor, and the 3-bar that was in here broke. I got the throttle body torqued down to the intake manifold with the new gasket in there. I had to like dig around for this like coolant hose down there because for some reason I took it off and I put it in a bin. Don't know why, but that coolant hose took me like 20 minutes to find, but it's back on there. Came back here. I want to clean up the two brackets that support the up pipe. They're just rusty, gross. There's like oil and like all this other schmoo covered in them, so I want to pull those off real quick also and clean those while I have them out. If I can get that black plate down there off also, I'd like to do that because that's covered, that is soaked in oil. Like I don't really know if you guys can see it all that well, but it is just caked in oil, so I'd like to clean that. O2 sensor is in the up pipe. I would just rather do it now while the motor's on the stand. I can easily get it back in the car with that thing dangling around. It's just that thing's so annoying to have to get in there when it's actually in the car. There's just like no room to be able to do it. Then I went around, cleaned up a few smaller things here and there. So these are the two brackets that I was talking about though. I like test cleaned one spot to see if they were even still silver, and they are. So all of this like surface rust, goo, schmoo, everything on there, we're gonna clean off just on both of those brackets to make them look brand new again. I figure while I have the car out, I just want everything to look like a brand new motor again. So we're gonna clean those, clean that black plate on the bottom of the motor, see if I can even get it off, disassemble this, toss it in the trash, and then at that point, I think we're gonna head up to the mod garage, pick up our AOS just to get it mounted up in here, just to get it one less thing like done with and out of the way. And you know what? We're gonna pull off these stock fuel lines too. We have a lot to do. So we'll do all that. We'll pull off the fuel lines. We'll go up to the mod garage. We'll get all that stuff, and then we'll keep going on everything. We have a lot. There's so much stuff to do right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. So as you guys saw, I got all like the stock fuel lines and whatnot off the car. They're all right here just chilling. This is essentially just the fuel stumble fix kit. All like Cobb does with that stuff is use older GD models, I believe, just because they only have those one fuel dampeners. With the engine, we got all the smaller stuff kind of knocked out. New crush washers, all coolant hoses put back up on. Like I said, throttle body, 4-bar map sensor. All of this is pretty much ready to go. I need to order that other hose for back there. So once we actually get the clutch in, this thing is now ready to just drop right in. And once this drops in, we can do all the fuel line, all that stuff, and actually make some good progress with this. But for like right now, it's like all the small stuff, cleaning up like all the oil covered things, getting all the small pieces back on that we're going to be needing later, and just all the good stuff. I also got these like cleaned up decently. There's like just rusty at this point. So next up, we need to swing up to the mod garage to go pick up more parts. There's just so many parts coming in. It's exciting. Tomorrow, the fuel pressure regulator gets dropped off, so we can get like a bracket made for that, get that put up in the engine bay, and then start doing some of the like basic fuel line stuff. It's exciting. It's good stuff. But we're gonna wait till Melanie gets off work. I'm gonna go grab her. We're gonna go up to the mod garage, go bug Brian, go bug Ryan, whoever else is up there, and grab our parts. I gotta go pee though, so I'll catch you guys in like an hour. We have made it in the car and are headed up to the mod garage. We're going to pick up some parts. Are you excited?
Yeah.
I'm excited. We gotta go, well, it's just the air oil separate. There's a car coming.
I know, I can't see past your head.
Oh, I'm sorry. The camera probably doesn't help either, does it? Meh. All right, so once we get out there, we'll bust out the camera, we'll walk around with Bug Brian, we'll go get some good parts. I'm excited. It's the V3 AOS 2, which I've never had the V3 IAG one. It's their new one that's out. It was like a, I don't know, I think it was like a 3-week wait for that thing. So but hopefully it's worth it. I mean, it's not like we needed it. Oh, we probably could have used it like 3 weeks ago. It is what it is. Yo, so we just got up here to the mod garage. Look, it's the old BRZ. It's still alive. That's good to see. The color on it looks a lot better than it did before. I like that color. I didn't want to do another full wrap on that thing, but let's go see what Brian's doing. Let's go grab our air oil separator and see if there's anything like popping at the mod garage tonight. We have our air oil separator here, so I do want to open this thing up. Cut. This is very difficult to do with one hand. Now that we actually have this cut open. Oh, it's like wrapped up. Hold on. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting so many changes with the V3. Like, these lines are already in there. They're already like swivel ready to go. The machining on this definitely looks different, so it'll mount up. How does this mount? Oh, I'm looking at it upside down, so it mounts up like that. Wow, this looks good. Mel, what do you think? You like?
Yep.
Yup. It's an air oil separator.
It looks like it separates air and oil.
It definitely does. Wow, this is fun. This is like swivelly and cool. All right, now that we've opened that, we have the package secured. Let's go bug Ryan. All right, so we're back down at the house now. It is like freezing cold out too for some reason. I do have the garage door open right now just for a little bit, but I'm like super pumped for this AOS. This V3 one looks entirely different than the V2 did. So I will probably, if you guys want, I'll do a dedicated install video on this V3 AOS if that is something you guys want once we get the motor back in the car. But I think that's really all I got for you guys on this one. So there's a whole bunch of like smaller, mundane little stuff showing you guys the FP Black, which I'm once again incredibly grateful for. Thank you to the guys down at New School Automotive down in St. Augustine. Like I said, they open up this weekend, so if you're in that area and you need any work done, you're looking for some parts, definitely go check them out also. But like I said, a whole bunch of smaller mundane stuff. So we got all of those like new vacuum lines on there. We got the throttle body put back on, the 4-bar map sensor, a whole bunch of small stuff for that motor, so that way we're not just like running through things once we get that motor in. I did get confirmation that we should get all the clutch stuff by Sunday, which means that motor can go back in the car on Monday. So I don't know, you guys will see that video sometime next week, but that's gonna be like the street lightweight flywheel, the ACT HD Extreme, is it Extreme? Might just be the ACT HD clutch, I don't remember. All that good stuff's gonna be going on there, so I'll walk you guys through that, show you guys how to install the clutch, how to install the flywheel, how to mate it back up to the transmission, all that good stuff. But anyways, like I said, that's all I got for you guys on this one. Relatively short video, I think. I don't know until I go to edit this, but with that, if you guys like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that like button, turn it whatever color of the rainbow it turns, any color in the world. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit your boy up one of these corners. No idea which one I'm gonna put it in tonight or this morning, whenever you're watching this, or this afternoon. But with that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies. Woo!